The truth of Lady Liberty and the Liberty Bell is being denied by the radical left in this country. We're talking about that next on One Nation. Hello, America. Welcome to One Nation. I'm Dr. Jake Jacobs. Proclaim liberty throughout the land and unto all the inhabitants thereof. Those beautiful words from the Torah, the Old Testament, more specifically the book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 10, are etched on top of the Liberty Bell. The Christian leaders of Pennsylvania back in 1752, they desired to create a commemorative bell that reflected upon the Christian toleration that was established by William Penn back in 1702. I had the honor of being at the Green Bay Liberty Bell Committee. We made an exact replica of the Liberty Bell that was made in London, England. The Whitechapel Foundry that made the bell in 1752 is still there to this day. And so I went over there in the year 2002 to inspect the Liberty Bell, and then we brought it back to Green Bay, Wisconsin, where you can see it at Brown County Courthouse, if you ever get a chance, if you're in the Green Bay area. Besides, go see the Green Bay Packers, the best team in NFL history. But I digress. Now, there's an organization out there called the Freedom from Religion Foundation. They're out of Madison, Wisconsin. They despise and disdain our Judeo-Christian roots of our nation. So they're dedicated to getting propaganda out there, billboards, and they disseminate these ideas even in our capitals in our country, that our nation was not based upon Judeo-Christian roots, but that our nation was either atheistic or deistic, and nothing could be further from the truth. So they do despise those words that are on top of the Liberty Bell, and they despise our national motto, "In God We Trust," and 1,000 different things that are etched in Washington, D.C., or proclamations by our presidents, which will be in further programs. Now give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Those beautiful words are by Emma Lazarus, are from her great poem, The New Colossus. They're at the pedestal of the Statue of Liberty. And the French designer, sculptor, by the name of Frédéric Bartholdi, he used Libertas, the Roman goddess of freedom, the Roman goddess of freed slaves, as his copy, something to design his statue with. And he also relied upon the Statue of Freedom, which is on top of our Capitol building and still there to this day. Now here's where, unfortunately, Civil War politics comes into play. Bartholdi wanted originally to have a broken chain symbolic of the breaking of the chains of slavery in our republic. But because of Civil War politics, he had the chain put on the bottom of the pedestal there. You can't see them very well from down below, but they're there, symbolic of the breaking of chains of government oppression related to slavery. Now, that Statue of Freedom also had politics involved in it, in that the gentleman that was responsible for putting that statue up in the Capitol building was none other than the Democratic Senator Jefferson Davis, who loved slavery, wanted to advance slavery, became the head of the Confederate States of America, and he knew that the original Statue of Freedom actually was symbolic of the free slaves of the Roman Empire, so he didn't let that statue go up there. Bartholdi realized that, and so therefore he used a part of that statue to influence Lady Liberty, but because of Civil War politics, ignored the other part of that. Now, that statue, the Statue of Liberty, Lady Liberty, has been an exciting symbol for millions of immigrants and aliens from around the world who came to this land, to be free, who came to this land to experience social mobility and economic opportunity. And no greater immigrant can express that than Frank Capra, who became a famous American movie maker. His classic films like It's a Wonderful Life, which, by the way, I can't wait. I got my copy right here, and every Christmas, it's a family tradition when we watch It's a Wonderful Life. And he also is known for his classic film, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. I cannot recommend enough you watching these films if you want to get a sense of an immigrant who came to this country and fell in love with our founders and fell in love with our republic, and you see Americana and the beauty of our founders reflected in his films. Well, Frank Capra tells an amazing story. He lived in poverty in Sicily, Italy. poverty and the crime because of the mafia back in the day, 1903 to be specific. And he tells us that his father decided to leave the poverty and the crime of Sicily and to come to America. He wanted to come to America to be free and to have the social mobility and economic opportunities that Americans have had for so long. And he tells the story that as they were coming into New York Harbor, he sees the Statue of Liberty. And he cries out to his son, "Chaco, Chaco, look at Lady Liberty. Look at that light of liberty. That is the greatest light since the star over Bethlehem. Never forget that light." Frank Capra never forgot that light. I leave you with the story of that light from the great President Ronald Reagan. It was the 100th anniversary of the dedication of the Statue of Liberty at New York Harbor. And Ronald Reagan, with Lady Liberty behind his shoulder, gave an amazing speech that day on July 3rd, 1986. And in that speech, he said, "We are the keepers of the flame of liberty. We hold it high for the world to see. It is a beacon of hope, a light unto the nations. Pray that that lamp is never extinguished." My fellow Americans, there's a darkness in our land today. There's a darkness of cultural Marxism, a darkness of radical left-wing professors in our universities denying the greatness of this nation, denying the Judeo-Christian foundation of this nation. We here should be dedicated to the raising of the arm of Lady Liberty high for the world to see that this republic shall not perish from this earth. And until next week, remember, the truth shall set you free. If you thought that was cool, check out more videos on freedomproject.com. You'll enjoy them.